Welcome friends to another video. Welcome to another video from 12 scented months. This time around I'm going to give you 10 fragrances for the month of April. I didn't do a video for March. I just wasn't in the mood of doing it. So therefore I apologize if you're expecting a video for March, but I'm going to do it probably next year in March. So let's go ahead with 10 fragrances for April. These are 10 recommendations for my collection, 10 fragrances that I'm gonna wear, that I'm wearing. And these are designer fragrances and also niche fragrances. Some of them are quite affordable, others are quite expensive. It depends only on you how much you want to spend on your fragrances. Let's start with number one, and this is from the house of Lalique. Of course, Lalique Homage alone. To put it simple, violet and agarwood. At least this is what's the whole story on my skin. A monster performing fragrance for me, very versatile. This is basically my most versatile fragrance, to be honest. And excellent projection and sillage. Highly, highly attractive fragrance. You'll get noticed and also you'll attract, if you're into this, a lot of compliments. Lalique Homage alone. The next one comes from the house of Caron, and this is Le Troisième Homme. A very beautiful fragrance, very classic, a barbershop type of fragrance. I had some issues with this one at the beginning. I wasn't quite enthusiastic about the performance and also about the scent, but 1 year later, I find the performance to be excellent and also the scent smells amazing. This is an aromatic fougere. You have that barbershop vibe with this one, but it's simply classy. It's simply masculine and also quite elegant. I highly recommend it, especially for warmer days. Le Troisième Homme from the house of Caron, a very underrated house, just like Lalique. Next one up is a fragrance that I rarely worn in the last 2 years, maybe 3. And this is one of the best fig fragrances out there on the market. It's also very affordable and compared to a lot of offerings from niche houses, this is a monster. Noble Fig from Ferrari. Simply amazing. Amazing fragrance. If I would compare this one to Diptyque Philosikos, for example, I would go and purchase this one over and over again. It's that good. It smells great. It's fresh, refreshing, very bright. It's very versatile at the same time. And in my case, performance-wise, I'm very satisfied with what I get from Noble Fig. What I like about this fragrance is the fact that it's a very balanced fig note. It's not very gourmand, very fruity, very sweet, but it's also not very dusty, very leafy as you get with other fragrances. And we're gonna get both of those in this video. Still one of my best fig scents all time, Noble Fig from the house of Ferrari. Let's go to the next one. It may surprise some, but this is actually the best scenario for me to use this fragrance, and this is none other than Club de Nuit Intense Man from the house of Parma. Why? Mainly because on my skin, the dominant accord is the birch note, which is simply amazing. I'm a big fan of woody fragrances, therefore I'm a big fan, for example, of this Square He Wood, the old series. I'm a big fan of Hugo Boss Bottled Number 6 by Night, which also features birch. But I'm a big fan of this one also, especially in moderate temperatures, as it is right now in April. And it performs really amazing on my skin. Yes, I get the fruity notes in the opening, but the dominant accord is the woody accord of this fragrance, which I like it. Very versatile, very good performing, and especially considering the fact that I have one of the newest batches with the black atomizer, because I've seen a lot of people talking on the internet saying that the new batches are worse than the older ones. It's not my case. It performs like a monster. And I simply love it because it's very versatile. Let's go to one of the most beautiful, if not the best lavender-based fragrance, and this comes from the house of Montal, and it's called Oud Lavender. This is the most natural smelling lavender that I ever encountered in my life, and I do own quite a lot of fragrances that have this note inside, but this one smells exactly like natural lavender, which I also have in my house. I also have essential oil, and it's identical. It's quite strong, it's very powerful, very good performance. Also, it's very, very strong in projection and sillage. You also get that wood note inside, which makes it a little more classy, more mature, more opulent if you want. Therefore, Montal Oud Lavender is my top choice when it comes to lavender-based fragrances. And it works miracles, if you ask me, in this type of weather that we get in April. Next one up comes from the house of Les Couvents de Minimes, or Les Couvents Maison de Parfum, as they are rebranded now. And this is called Portobello. Absolutely amazing fragrance. You get a very simplistic composition. You have orange, incense, woody accords, and benzoin. So it's quite gourmand, if you ask me, but also elegant, also sensual, I would say, and it performs really, really great. A very interesting house. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend all their fragrances. They are quite interesting, quite amazing fragrances, and they are, like Acqua di Parma, one of those houses that encourage the use of natural ingredients in their composition. Also, they are a vegan house. So if you love this type of fragrances, and if you love vanillic type of fragrances, because in this one, benzoin comes out as a very beautiful gourmandy vanilla, I highly recommend Portobello from the house of Les Couvents Maison de Parfum. Let's go to the next one. This is probably, actually not probably, this is what I consider to be the best fig fragrance that I ever smelled. Alexandre J. Au Scent Rouge. I love this one due to the composition, due to the performance, due to the way that fig note is interpreted inside this composition. It's very well balanced. It smells absolutely delicious. This is a somewhat of a gourmand type of fig. You also get some tonka. You also get some vanilla inside the composition. It blends simply amazing with a beautiful fruity fig. You also get some hints of leafy fig, but you get a very interesting, ultra zesty, if you want, pun intended, tangerine note in this one that combines with the fig, and it's simply amazing. Also, performance-wise, this is a monster. Longevity, projection, and sillage. Amazing scent from the house of Alexandre J. I highly recommend it. And I'm gonna keep it right here because the next one is another fragrance, another fig fragrance that gets a lot of hype. It's a very good fragrance, don't get me wrong, but the interpretation of figs in this one is totally different. This time around, Manchera Pearl, this one comes with the leafy, dusty aspect of the fig tree. It's very herbal, it's very green, it's very dusty, the total opposite of this one. That's why I said when I gave you this one that this is the most balanced, if you're asking me, compared to the extremes. This is gourmand, it's sweet, it's fruity, it's delicious. This is green, it's dusty, woody. Therefore, this one is in between. But although a lot of people are considering Manchera Pearl to be the best fig fragrance all time, I do not share this opinion. I consider there are a lot of better offerings out there, Alexandre J. Au Saint Rouge being one of them, mainly because this one gives you the fig for basically the first third of your experience with the fragrance on the skin. Afterwards, the fig easily disappears and comes out the florals inside this one, especially jasmine combined with violet and also with rose. but you also get a very beautiful green apple note inside this one. Unfortunately, the fig in Manchella Pearl, at least on my skin, doesn't last as long as other fig-based fragrances, such as Noble Fig from Ferrari, such as Océan Rouge from Alexandre J. Nonetheless, a very beautiful, very amazing, if you ask me, actually it's amazing, not very amazing, fragrance with incredible performance, incredible projection, incredible sillage, and it gets a lot of compliments. Next one up on this list comes from the house of Alexandre J, and this is absolutely amazing. This is the Majestic Jardin from the Art Deco collection. This is a fragrance that I was hunting for the last year. This is a fragrance with special signification for me, because this one will be the fragrance that will end all reviews on my channel when it comes to fragrances. But not in English, don't worry, only in Romanian. So this will be my last fragrance. I'm going to keep it there in the closet to be the last one that I'm going to review on my channel when it comes to fragrance related content. But this is an amazing, amazing piece of, I don't know how to call it, craftsmanship, actually. You have cherry wood, but also cherry blossom combined with vanilla, combined with citruses, combined with tobacco. It's simply amazing. It smells fabulous. It's perfect for the month of April, for moderate temperatures, although I would wear this one all year round. Performance-wise, it's simply amazing. I have no issues with fragrances from this house. Sillage is great. Projection-wise, it's moderate, but it's something normal with this house. The Majestic Jardin is an absolutely stunner, especially if you love cherry in your fragrances. And the last fragrance in this list of 10 fragrances for the month of April, well, it was a battle between two brothers. Eventually, one of them won because I consider it to be perfect for the weather and for the scenarios that I'm going to wear it. Acqua di Parma Colonia Ebano is the winner. The contender was its brother, Acqua di Parma Colonia Mira. I've chosen Colonia Ebano mainly because of that beautiful combination between honey and ebony, which is simply out of this world. And I decided not to go with Mira, mainly because in this one you get a very beautiful, again, combination between myrrh and nutmeg. And due to that nutmeg note, I consider it to be a bit too much for April compared to Colonia Ebano, at least for my taste. Both are simply amazing fragrances in terms of notes, in terms of the composition, but also in terms of performance. Because although they are marketed as EDCs or eau de cologne, they are performing like eau de parfums. Simply amazing composition in Colonia Ebano. It's very mature, it's very elegant, it's very comfortable. It's very, very voluptuous at the same time, very sensual. This is a gentleman's perfume, if you ask me. One of my favorites from the house of Acqua di Parma. I simply love this fragrance, just like I love every single other fragrances from this house. I'm a big fan of Acqua di Parma. Therefore, Colonia Ebano is my last recommendation for a scented April. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. As always, be safe, be good.